we're discussing about rape. The reason why we're talking about rape is just because we are at Immaculate Television. We are saying no to rape, and we are saying that there are a lot of things that we need to do concerning the law reformations concerning rape and rapists. So thank you so very much. I have a colleague of mine in the house to discuss about rape, which is more of a public affairs analyst when it comes to newspapers and everything. He knows what he is doing, and I'll just go for this quick commercial break, and I'll be right back.
A warrior is a woman, woman, woman. A savior is a woman, woman, woman. A warrior is a woman, woman, woman. A savior is a woman, yeah, 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 yeah. When a man will cry, a woman smiles. Her shoes have walked 1,000 miles. The sticks of stone can break her bones. She welcomes all her friends and foes. When her spirit's down, she has no time to frown. A warrior is a woman.
You're welcome back. It's still the platform on Immaculate Television. My name is Maria Moni one more time, and today we'll be discussing about rape and rape allegations. You know, that's why the fact that there are a lot of rape cases that is happening here and there, and our attention is being called to it. But the main point is just that we have to also talk about false allegations of rape cases. And I have a colleague of mine with me. Is just came back from newspaper review, and his name is Mr. Olukunsaye.
Good morning. Good morning.
It's nice to have you.
It's nice to be on your platform this morning.
Okay, I'm so excited because I know the kind of person he is. He's a deep person, and when you talk about public affairs and everything, he's passionate about it. Okay, so there are a lot of rape cases of recent that is happening all around, and the main cases is just that a lot of people believe that it has escalated ever since the advent of COVID-19. Do you think it is so, or why is it so?
I don't think the issue of rape has escalated after COVID-19 or maybe during COVID-19.
Okay.
There's been rape issues before COVID-19, actually. There's been a lot of rape. I think there's even been more rape issues before now. But the fact that people are now not doing much, and you know their attention is being shifted to rape and the rest of that is the major issue. But rape has been an issue before now. There's been so many cases, religious cases, normal social cases, and the rest of that.
Okay.
So I think it's just the attention nowadays, based on the idleness, I would say, has made it an issue. It's quite an issue anyway.
Okay, you don't think that there is this symbiotic relationship between being locked down partially or locked down that is why it's affecting people's mental health?
No. There has been issues that are affecting mental. Actually, the issue of COVID-19 made the minds of so many people to be relaxed. There have been so many people in depression and the rest of that. Though, of course, depression rates still increased based on maybe the fact that people were not having enough social lives. But there's been issues initially based on pressure from work and the rest of that. So many people that have not taken break for quite some time. Some people have been working for 10 years. They've not had breaks. They've not had the time to. So that time they had the time to meet their family, spend time with their family and all that. There was the positive part of it, and you know, of course,
the negative part.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you so very much. My next question is this: do you think that people coming out to say I'm raped or something, do you think it is good for the society, or what can you say about it? Because it seems as if people's attention being called to it, and a lot of people. Okay, let me give an instance. Uti Nwachukwu, that's one of our celeb here, former Baby Nigeria star, a reality star show.
Yeah.
And there's somebody that came out on Twitter to say I was raped by Uti Nwachukwu, and which actually generated a lot of controversies here and there. And he came out to say
Uti
no.
is the guy that does this thing on Africa Magic and the rest of that with one lady like that. Yeah.
So with Helen Paul,
Yeah.
so it happens that he came out to say no, I'm never a rapist, I've never raped anybody, and he took some legal steps. And before you say Jack Robinson, we didn't hear anything about this woman again, and she deactivated our Instagram account. Do you think that is because people are lying about it, or is it because people are more aware and conscious of it and trying to make everybody to know that rape still exists?
The thing about rape is we only know what we're told. We don't actually know what happened. Someone is saying he raped, the other person is saying, well, I didn't, and the other that, and like that. And it's not really just about women, and it's about everybody. It's about everybody at large. So I of course, if you're asking if it's a negative impact, yes, it is. The issue of rape, it affects your sense, it affects your moral, your person. It's actually, there was this song that Faust did about a lady that was raped, and yeah, so it affects a lot of things and change the kind of your personality at times, changes your personality. So it's, of course, it has the negative impact. But the issue of people coming up, false accusations, and the rest of that, you expect that. Nigeria, this is Nigeria. We take advantage of a lot of things. Some people want fame, some people want money, and if that actually
but don't you think that is a cheap publicity? You coming out to say I was raped. That's why the fact that it is, the society, our culture and tradition still stigmatize a rape victim. So why would anybody just come out and say I was raped even when the person is not raped?
The issue of stigma or whatever, those have changed over time. A very long time ago, having a lady stay in the same room with a man that she is not married to, you can't do that openly.
Yes,
now on the street, you see people walking with each other. You see them holding each other and doing things outside. You understand? So forget the issue of stigma and the rest of that. Let's talk about the rape itself. The issue of the way the world is nowadays. There are things. A lot of things have changed. And shame now has a different definition. Yeah. So it's not forget the stigma thing. It's just the end product. Some people want to be famous, some people want money, and some people will do anything to get those things. You understand? It's not really about moral standards or stuff like that anymore as much as it used to be then. So I think the issue of false accusation, people saying, well, this person raped me, this person didn't rape me. You cannot decide who raped who, of course, probably based on the evidences that will be provided, which still cannot be so much depended on.
Okay.
So it just boils down to the issue of, one, there was something I was discussing with someone about upbringing, values in families, and the rest of that. Some people would not, there are families that would not want that kind of thing to be heard
of them.
Yes. Yeah. So, in those days, those were the values, those were the things that were keeping people away from doing those kind of things, like, what would they say about me, right?
Yes.
Like the Yoruba, all those kind of things. But those things are not there now. The parents are not responsible. The children cannot be held responsible for their actions because they were not trained in the way they should go, and now they are, wherever they want to be.
It's the foundation.
So I told someone, I said, this is just the beginning of things that we'll be seeing. The kind of upbringing, the kind of irresponsibilities that we're having from parents to children nowadays, from elders to their subordinates, from leaders to, the kind of things we're having, looking at our politicians, our leaders, stealing, fighting, making things that are not supposed to be funny, trying to make jokes about it, and the rest of that. So the values are no longer there. So, and it's preparing the minds of people that we have enough youths now who are going to become leaders tomorrow, and the rest of that. Everybody's going to die someday. So those people there are going to die someday. So we're going to have some people there who doesn't have the value, doesn't have the
value system and everything, the
moral and all that, you understand? Talk less of maybe stigma or shame, no sense of that anymore. So the issue of rape, people now take pride in it.
Wow.
Yeah, so of course there's a spiritual aspect.
Just like
of
they want to gather some kind of pity party around them and everything.
You understand? Yeah, so I can just decide to say, well, I was staying with my step-grandma for quite some time and my aunties were around. I can just say maybe one of my rich aunties raped me when I was in secondary school. And
Before
do you know that I can actually keep saying that so much that I will start believing it and start making up a story around it. And maybe one day I'll just say, maybe one day we're in the same room and something happened, and then, you know, it becomes a news that become popular. At the end of
Then
the
people
day,
start watching your shows and everything.
some people start protesting. Some people carry women must receive justice, justice for men who are raped, and
yes.
you know, all those kind of things. And with time, I start acting it. I start living it. So things happen. You can't really tell what is what and who is who.
Okay.
Whatever we're judging from
What is
is
real
based
and
on
what is
things that we've been told and things that we heard, some evidences that were provided. And look at the rape issues, not things that happened yesterday. We are talking about things that happened 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Please.
Oh, thank you so very much, Mr. Olupinsayo Opeyemi. And I have been discussing with him concerning rape and rape allegation. My next question is this. Okay, so I was talking with a mental health physician on Tuesday, and we were discussing about the fact that the consensual age range, particular age for consensual sex in Nigeria is 14 years old.
Okay.
A 14 years old girl or boy, how can they say that, okay, I am the one that said yes to the sex? And the fact that a lot of people have been coming out to say that, even some of our lawmakers, we've seen some, like Senator Elisha Aboda was in the sex toy that was beating the sales rep and everything. And there was one that was actually accused of rape of recent. That is one of this commissioner in Kano, I think in Kano or Kaduna, I'm not so sure about that. But our point is just that even the so-called lawmakers that are supposed to make sure that the law protects women and men and even children, they are not doing the right thing. What can you say about that? Why do you think that as in Nigeria we have the age for consensual rape, for consensual sex at the age of 14?
In my own opinion.
In your own opinion.
In my own opinion about all these things. The issue of rape in the north is not, I don't think it should be something alarming, because, you know, there you have 8-year-old lady that is already married to a 56, 70-year-old man and all that. And of course, they are having sex and the rest of that. So it's not, of course, will you say an 8-year-old lady has her own will to have sex? That's rape. It's been happening over time. It's been happening. That's why I said, and look at it. It's called rape here in the Southwest. Yes, here in the Southwest, it's called rape. Among the Igbos, it's called rape. In that place, do you record any cases of rape? And those are the places where you have the issues of young ladies or young girls, I would say, being maltreated, being mistreated, and being given out to early marriage and the rest of that. So I would say again, forget the issue of laws and the rest of that. What we are hearing about rape issues is what we are being told about it. And of course, it brings us back to the issue of journalism and the rest of that, the place of asking questions, the place of getting the law enforcement agencies to do their job quite well. You know, there's the place of checking if people actually had sex with someone. There's a way, I think there are medical ways of knowing if you just had sex. That's one. There are medical ways of knowing if it was actually rape. Yeah. Though, of course, there are some parts that are not reliable on that, but there are medical ways to know that if you have sex, is it intentional? Do you enjoy it? Is it rape, or is it something? Is it against your will? Is it not against your will? Then there are so many things that will be surrounding such issues that will make people know if it's your will. Let's say I have a 22-year-old lady, probably in school, come to my house, and probably that's not the first time she's been coming to my house, and then maybe she's not well dressed and all that, and then people know that we are together and the rest of that. Then some issues come out, and then she says it's rape. You understand? Stuff like that. There are ways to get those things done. So I think the issue, the law enforcement agency has their work to do. Our politicians, our leaders, as I said, the moral standard and the rest of. Do you know that there are some countries that if those things if their politicians being alleged of those things, they resign. They don't get any political post ever again. And even their family members don't. The fact that there are things associated, things like that are associated with your name. There are places you can't go anymore. There are positions you can't get to anymore. And those things should be done here in Nigeria too. It will help increase the sense of morale, increase the sense of doing things right,
Yeah,
and the rest
that
of
actually make me to remind myself. It reminds me of Chris Brown that had issue with Rihanna back then. Like almost
look at Chris Brown, look at the likes of R. Kelly.
Yes, that was beaten. It beats what do they call it,
Rihanna, yeah.
and he up till now Australia still didn't allow him to come and perform or do anything.
Not just that,
not even grant.
The rate from then, the rate at which he sells his music somehow dropped. Somehow dropped. The quality of music it does hasn't dropped over time.
Exactly.
But we don't hear of Chris Brown as much as we hear of the like of Ellie Bailey, the likes of maybe new guys that are coming up now.
J. Cole and also.
Look at R. Kelly. The rape issues, young ladies, and the rest of that. Look at where he's in jail now. The like of R. Kelly is a legend.
Yes.
But he cannot get those privileges ever again. It will take miracle to have him back and getting those privileges that he used to have. So let those things be done. Let's morale right. There are family names that you don't want to associate with stealing. So when you talk about laundering in politics and this family, they will do anything to make sure their names are being cleared and the rest of that. But the shame is no longer there. The issue of shame, the issue of stigma. People will do anything these days.
Okay, thank you so very much, Mr.
You're
Olufisaye.
welcome.
So I'm just going to go for this quick commercial break. Then I'll be right back with the questions.
A warrior is a woman. A warrior is a woman. Woman. A savior is a woman. A warrior is a woman. A savior is a woman. Bountiful, wonderful is her frame of mind. Beautiful, colorful, style is one of a kind. Her womanhood and her motherhood are her strength and pride. Her warmth and grace she cannot hide. The wonder
The platform on Immaculate Television, and I am Miriam Mani. I have been discussing with Mr. Olufisaye Okwayemi about rape and rape allegation, and he said some things that is actually intriguing and mind-boggling. Where he said that even in there is no more shame in the land, and there is no more moral capability even for our lawmakers and the so-called politicians to do the needful, which they are supposed to do. And which I think is actually something to reflect back on. Compared to before, people used to do also things and make sure that, okay, that's my good name and my good family name. I didn't put it in the dirt, I didn't put it in the mud. And so also, now my next question is going to be like, okay, what do you think about forced rape allegation? There are a lot of things that has happened of late that, tarnishing the image of a young man. And a lot of people has went to jail for forced rape allegation because maybe we had enough pity party and people are saying, yes, I support the girl, I support this, I support that. This guy has to be the bad guy. I'm especially when you have a tattoo. You understand? People automatically believe, or you have a dread on you, they'll be like, you're the bad boy. You understand? People do judge by the appearance. So what I'm trying to say in essence is just that. What do you think about forced rape allegation? Is it supposed? Why is it not an offense yet in Nigeria? Like a very big one whereby the person will go to jail and will be dealt with religiously.
Just like I said, the issue of rape is just coming up to the light because of the time we now have to look deeper into some issues. There are laws for false accusations.
Yes, of course. So
either it's rape accusation, either it's stealing accusation or something. False accusation is wrong under the law. So there are laws for it, and there are things that would be done about it.
What I'm trying to say in essence is just that there is not so much light that is shed upon it, just like the rape one. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
So much light. I've told you, this thing is things that we were told. Whatever you know about a particular allegation is something that someone told you happened.
Because you were not there.
Exactly, because you were not there. So either it's false rape accusation or it's the current it's a current accusation. We are still looking at what people have been told. You still have to look at the evidences and the rest of that and come up with whatever the verdict will be.
Okay.
And whatever the verdict will be, that doesn't still make it right, because you were talking about some people who are already in prison based on false accusations. The judge decided, well, this lady is looking good.
Yes.
I think she was raped.
Exactly.
So you understand, and this guy is looking like a rapist. Look at the way he's even talking. He's talking like a rapist. He's looking like a rape. He must have raped this guy, and he really dealt with that. You understand? And so he decided we are putting. Do you know that some cases in America, a very huge percentage of cases of people in prison in America were actually there based on false allegations rather.
Yeah.
So we'll always have the place of that thing. The place of where people just look at you and judge you based on the way you look and the way you talk and the rest of that, based on whatever they think about you.
Yeah.
And who even knows? Who knows whether the person you are putting out there actually committed the crime? So there's the place of the crimes, of course, and there's the place of getting evidences to. The solution to this, as I've said, is let people be responsible. Let our leaders be responsible. Let it start from the fathers, from the parents. Let morals be taught once again. Let the values be taught once again. Let people know that this thing is right, this thing is wrong. Let people be held accountable. Let parents be responsible for their children. Let the leaders be responsible for their... So that, now, even parents encourage their children these days to steal, to do things, just to make sure.
Yahoo and everything.
No, I did not say Yahoo.
Okay. Oh, thank you so very much, Mr. Olukusa. I have a lot of questions that I still want to ask, but our time is fast spent and our time is just up. And in case you're just joining me one more time, this is the platform on Immaculate Television, and we're just about to round up. And so far, so good. We've discussed extensively about rape and rape allegations, and Mr. Olukusa told us that we need to go back to the foundation and make sure that we set it right. The parents should take responsibility. Everybody should take responsibility and do the needful. So till Tuesday that you're going to meet me again on the platform of Immaculate Television, my name is Maria Boni. Do have a wonderful day.
A warrior is a woman, woman, woman. A savior is a woman, woman, woman. A warrior is a woman, woman, woman. A savior is a woman, yeah, 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 yeah. When a man will cry, a woman smiles. Her shoes have walked 1,000 miles. The sticks of stone can break her bones. She welcomes